There is absolutely, without doubt, a conspiracy underfoot. Not the kind of conspiracy that Alex Jones would bang on about. Not the water turning the frogs gay. Not that kind of a conspiracy. We're talking about a conspiracy among Republicans, among conservatives, to extricate Donald Trump from his legal morass. The problems that he himself has gotten himself into legally. Not some wide-ranging plot by Democrats and Joe Biden to persecute Donald Trump for crimes he did not commit. The conspiracy I'm talking about is now culminating in Judge Aileen Cannon. Again, what a great gig, if you can get it, to be president of the United States, appoint judges who will then dismiss cases in which you committed crimes against the country, violating the Espionage Act. I hold in my hands page 1 of over 90 pages of a ruling from Judge Aileen Cannon, the unqualified Aileen Cannon, dismissing the documents case against Donald Trump. I'm going to read just the very first paragraph here. Order granting motion to dismiss superseding indictment based on appointments clause violation. Former President Trump's motion to dismiss indictment based on the unlawful appointment and funding of special counsel Jack Smith is granted in accordance with this order, ECF number 326. The superseding indictment is dismissed because special counsel Smith's appointment violates the appointments clause of the United States Constitution. U.S. Constitution, Article 2, Section 2, Clause 2. Special counsel Smith's use of a permanent indefinite appropriation also violates the appropriation. Anyway, this is a technicality. They're not in any way. So what she says here actually is, but the court need not address the proper remedy for that funding violation, given the dismissal on appointment clause grounds. The effect of this order is confined to this proceeding. It's just for this, though. Just for this. Just for Donald Trump's thing. We're dismissing it just for Donald Trump because he's special. You see, the Supreme Court ruling, the giving Donald Trump immunity from prosecution for official acts, anything he wants to do and call an official act, he can get away with. No prosecution. Doesn't apply to this case. Because Donald Trump was not president when he took the documents that were so sensitive they couldn't even be generally described in public. For what purpose? We still don't know. I think we all have guesses. This will most certainly be appealed. Hopefully she will be removed. She should be impeached. The Congress should take it upon itself. Until we have a Democratic Congress, that won't happen because the MAGA Congress, the dipshit Trump Congress, isn't going to do anything about this. But I'm going to read a little bit from this New York Times article, just a couple of paragraphs here. The story is absolutely developing, so there hasn't been a fulsome analysis and commentary in the press about it. Not a lot of reporting, but here is what we do know, and this is from the New York Times. A major legal threat against Trump is dismissed. Here's the latest. Judge Aileen Cannon ruled that the entire case should be thrown out because the appointment of the special counsel who brought the case, Jack Smith, had violated the Constitution. Her decision is sure to be appealed. A federal judge dismissed in its entirety the classified documents case against former President Donald Trump on Monday, ruling that the appointment of the special counsel, Jack Smith, had violated the Constitution. I don't know why they needed to say that twice, but here we are. New York Times. In a stunning ruling, and it is indeed stunning, the judge, Aileen M. Cannon, found that because Mr. Smith had not been named to the post of special counsel by the president or confirmed by the Senate, his appointment was in violation of the appointments clause of the Constitution. The ruling by Judge Cannon, who was put on the bench by Mr. Trump, flew in the face of the previous court decisions reaching back to the Watergate era that had upheld the legality of the ways in which independent prosecutors have been named. And in a single swoop, It removed a major legal threat against Mr. Trump on the first day of the Republican National Convention, where he is set to formally become the party's nominee for president. Final paragraph here. Mr. Smith's team will almost certainly appeal the ruling by Judge Cannon throwing out the classified documents indictment, which charges Mr. Trump with illegally holding onto a trove of highly sensitive state secrets after he left office, and then obstructing the government's repeated efforts to retrieve them. It's a conspiracy. We have a Congress that is investigation after investigation, putting forth laws that are trying to obstruct justice in all of the different cases against Donald Trump. We have a judiciary where federal judges are working hand in hand with the Trump defense team. We have a Supreme Court, 3 of the judges on this Supreme Court named by Donald Trump, nominated by Donald Trump, who are also working in service to him. I'm not talking about conspiracy theories. I'm talking about a criminal conspiracy. But because the way we write our laws, the way things are set up, the power, the immense power we give to both presidents and Supreme Court justices, there's nothing we can do as citizens other than go vote, other than make it to the polls in November, send a resounding message that this is not what we want. And we need a president. Hopefully, Joe Biden's going to start waking up, pack the court, expand the court, utilize the power granted them, the Congress, under the United States Constitution to organize the courts. The court hasn't always been 9 members. How do you think we went from 5 members to 9 members? How do you think that happens? It happens because the Constitution, the founders, the framers, the authors of our founding documents and the way we run our government saw fit to give Congress, as a check against the judiciary, gave Congress the power to organize the courts. And that's what we need to do. Up to this point, Joe Biden has been reticent, recalcitrant even, resistant to that. Those days are over, Joe. Those days are over. We need 11, 13, 15, 17, 21 members of the Supreme Court. We need a far more fulsome representative sample of America on that court, not white male dipshits who align their political philosophies and ideologies with radicals who attempted to overthrow the United States government, flying their Stop the Steal symbols at their homes, having their wives attend the insurrection rallies, taking lavish, free vacations at the expense of billionaires for whom they then give good rulings. If you're not outraged, you're not awake. If you're not afraid for the future of our republic, you just don't care or you're not paying attention. My assessment would be that you are outraged, that you are afraid for the future of our country. But what are you going to do about it? You need to take that energy with you into your life, into your work, into your meetings with friends and acquaintances, and get them to vote. Educate them about what is going on. If it's just social media, do it. Get somebody riled up to go to the polls and vote in November. Somebody who may not have otherwise done so. Anyway, this will be appealed. It will eventually get to the Supreme Court. What I think, we know what will happen. They will overturn Watergate era precedent because it's the Supreme Court of the United States. It's the Alito Court. It's the Clarence Thomas Court, the Bart O'Kavanaugh, Boofer Court, the Neil Gorsuch Court. the Amy Coney Barrett court, and the John Roberts court. Did I miss anybody? Or is that all the dipshits we have to contend with as citizens in this country? What do you think? I invite your participation in this ranting and raving that is what it turned out to be. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. You can also just leave a comment below. We can have a conversation there that will trigger the YouTube algorithm to share this channel and my content to new audience members. I would appreciate it. I would also appreciate if you consider supporting this work. Click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. You can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. All these are great ways to help support this work. And follow me on social media, which is less and less and less important because they're either not wanting to promote politics like Mark Zuckerberg giving Donald Trump all his accounts back without restrictions, or you got the fascist dumb shit Elon Musk running Twitter. So who knows? It's a hellscape. But I'm at Dollemore. If you're there, I'd love to see you. Be genuine. Take care of one another.